just to resync where we're at, what we probably need to work on with that one. But you guys, yeah, I feel like I choose too much. You guys
Uh,
work too hard.
Yeah, we're online. Hello, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Yes, it's several
Hey,
weeks
hey.
without sessions. Uh, and I actually wanted to mention that Postgres 18 is released very recently. And I wanted to congratulate Kirk and Andrey for contributions which made into Postgres 18, especially Kirk's idea. It was the very first session together, right? When you brought the ULID idea, and then it was converted to UUID version 7. And of course, coded heavily by Andrey, right? And then we needed to wait an extra year, I guess, because the position was let's wait until full finalization of RFC. Is this all correct? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just to be clear, it was the RFC for the definition of UUID 7 that needed to be finalized before Postgres wanted to let the feature in. So it wasn't anything with the RFCs on the Postgres side. It was
Right.
that one.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also I want to put extra hat tip to Andrey, because he did implement the extract date from UUID v7. So,
Against
so
position of RFC authors, right? Because we know that
yeah.
they said it's not a good idea. We said, well, it's convenient, right?
Well, and
Oh,
then a recent article was just written. I think the PGA Analyze guys or somebody else wrote that this is actually great because you can now use this to separate. You can use the
Partitioning.
UUID v7 and then do partitioning
Yeah.
on a day by day basis now.
there is the interesting tweet that like there is a function to extract time from UID in Postgres 17. It was committed before we committed
Yeah.
UID v7, but the function in Postgres 17 does not support UID v7. So if you transfer a row from 18 to 17 and you will try to extract date, it won't work
Mhm.
only on Postgres 18 or later.
Mhm.
Maybe we can backpatch it.
Who
I
who is
don't
transferring from
know.
18 to 17? Guys who downgrade or who? Like,
You can have like logical replication between
you can, but
nodes
why in that direction? Okay, maybe
for
actually
fun.
for not for fun. Actually, our approach for major upgrades without downtime, it includes reverse. We call it reverse replication when we support downgrade for a few days after upgrade, just in case people love it.
Actually,
Yeah,
17 is much more stable than 18. Like 18 is released, that's true, but
yeah,
it's not a
just a
time
couple
to
of
use
weeks
it in
ago.
production. It's
Yeah.
time to use it for
This is
development.
this
And
is actually a dilemma. Actually, it's time for you to use it in production, but with carefully, right? Because if no one will use it in production, it won't bugs won't be identified. So guys, please use it in production and report bugs. Be the
be
first
brave.
pioneers. Yeah. So I wanted to just reflect a little bit more that this was coded here originally in the first patch, and it's great that this feature is mentioned in all reviews as a major one. It's probably
Cool.
not a huge one in terms of code, right? Because like just functions and the data type is the same, no new data types at all, just functions, right? But yeah, but for users it's huge.
And a secondary hat tip to you, Nick, because you brought us all together for this, and you supported it, encouraged it every step of the way. You made the platform available to us. I mean, come on. So I know you didn't want to toot your own horn on this at all, but honestly, so many of these things, start with some thoughts you've had as well, and we push those. So, but this one, maybe it came from the outside piece, but you were right there when you realized, oh, we could do a date stamp on the UUID. And so you supported and encouraged it from day one. And especially for the performance response. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's a good thing. I like the user-facing features. I also like internal features, and we lately we went too deep down for merge of B3, and I guess we currently on pause thinking how to do it and like what's the future of it. And actually, I wanted to mention also other stuff Postgres 18 had. For example, support of gene indexes in AmCheck. Andrey participated a lot, I know. Yeah, this is a good thing.
Yeah, it's originally was work of my student at university,
Yeah.
but he
A lot of
left.
false positives, false negatives, right? And then
Yeah,
it took
yeah,
a few
and then
years to polish. Yeah.
Heike put a lot of effort because he was hunting a bug in gene index,
Yeah.
and he really made a lot of enhancements there. And well, it's 5 or 6 years of development
Yeah. But
in this patch.
finally, we can use AmCheck for gene. This is great. This is great because we can check. We need
We
to
can
check indexes from time to time.
find
Yeah.
the libc problems
Exactly.
for text indexes. That's why it was
Because
important.
gene internally also has internal B trees, right? So the order,
Mhm.
the change of silent implicit change of order matters there as well. Yeah, that's great. And I also wanted to mention Claude 3.7 contribution, a small one for no policies feature for PG dump, PG restore. This is where the idea of vibe hacking started. Yeah, so uh, I did it in Claude, and it was committed by Tom Lane, which is with some modifications, but like I especially liked that finally the text type I provided wasn't changed at all, because Claude wrote a very good text, much better than I did. But as a reminder, vibe hacking idea is not vibe coding. Vibe coding is when you don't look at code at all. Vibe hacking is just to start, and then you do need to look at the code, and final responsibilities on your shoulders. So never send anything vibe coded to hackers. I think it will end up terribly, right? So reviews matter,
Well, we see some actually patches and emails generated by AI,
yeah.
and they are of not very high quality, I'd say.
Yeah. I also want to mention a few blog posts I saw which were generated by AI, obviously. For example, one of them was published on dev.to platform, and it was mentioning a lot of stuff which doesn't exist in 18. For example, finally logical replication supports DDL.
Cool.
And yeah, and I even had people who mentioned this great news, right, being confused by those posts. So there are certain blog posts which are wrong. Yeah, so AI is good and bad, definitely. So
Some
anyway,
point of
yeah,
time we had the bogus CVEs, bogus vulnerabilities, which are not vulnerabilities, registered by some other parties. And I am kind of surprised that we still don't see AI generated vulnerabilities, because like
like kind of
Linux
detected,
already had.
yeah, yeah. So
Yes,
I I
yes.
saw a few days ago there was some vulnerabilities detected in some libraries by AI, and it was real. Do you remember something like this?
I remember that at DIFCON there was a talk that was entirely AI generated and was not real vulnerability.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was not
yeah,
reproducible. So we kind of uh, have to be cautious about any creative work now.
yeah, 100%.
I
Okay,
actually, I actually think there's so many good opportunities though, because of the AI hallucinations. In many cases, it hallucinates something that should exist. And isn't that one of the changes that you came up with for the wall
a few
stuff?
changes
Or,
actually, a few changes already. If it says something should like do this, but it's not supported, it might be a good idea to start supporting that. This is
yeah, I'll use a non-Postgres example. We were using Siege to test some website performance and when we found the website. And there's no option to report the details of any errors. like which error numbers you got. It just tells you there were 25 errors. You don't know if they're 503s, 404s, whatever. And so ChatGPT, of course, told me, oh yeah, it's there. Use the -E switch, whatever. It doesn't exist. The log doesn't
Yeah,
catch it. Just, but I have it
but
penciled
it
in
makes
as
sense.
something I'm going to code. I'm going to code that up as the -E switch so that in the output, it now tells you the count of each error type you got, because that was missing, and it would be handy to have if because there's a big difference between, 404s versus, 403s, it'd be nice to know exactly what error, because we missed something just because we thought it was timing errors. And it turned out that no, it was actually unable to fulfill some requests by not knowing the details. So I think that's a valuable piece for the AI sometimes when it hallucinates.
Yeah, so it was curl library, $50 found by AI, some vulnerabilities as well. It was discussed. Yeah, well,
Nice.
yeah. I actually tried to find problems in Postgres code using Cloud Code with Sonnet 4.5, which is like new release, and it's actually doing great job. But I'm not sure I found something. I needed to review this additionally. Anyway, what are we going to do today? This some
Can I
we don't
comment
know.
on the B tree? I want to comment on the B tree
Yeah.
because we did get blocked on this in a couple ways. And in the community, was it Thomas Monroe? Who was it that replied? He posted back the paper that said they analyzed a 50-50 merge and it was less efficient, right? Overall, it didn't help to do the re-merging of the pages.
It was Peter Gigan.
Peter, that's it, Gagan. Thank you. So Peter pointed that out, and kudos to him. He referenced the paper by some of the original authors and stuff talking about this. I think the next step for us is to actually try to play with the math outside of the code and but we want to look at merging like 10% and less or 20% and less pages, and never merging beyond the fill factor. Like merging 50-50 pages is crazy to me because you end up with 100% filled page, and the very next thing you're going to do is split it. So it doesn't leave any room for the normal thing. But the problem is when you have something that's 90% empty all over the place, there's an opportunity to push that back to maybe 70% full. Okay. And that's a huge correction in the right direction without going too far. So there was part of me that said, you know what, maybe we look at that analysis from that paper. And by we, it's probably should be the proverbial me. We look at the analysis from the paper and redo the analysis by looking at, yeah, but what if we didn't merge it that way? What if we started with thresholds like pages that are 10% or less full, 20% or less full, and then merged them only to the point of 70% or fill factor? Okay, never go past fill factor, and then merge them that way so we get kind of the best of both worlds. So I just I had that thought offline and I made a note to bring it up to you guys. What's your thoughts on that, Andrey and Nick?
Actually, the version that we proposed was merging only 5% or less page, or like more sparse pages. So we did propose the version that only merges very bloated trees and only very bloated trees. We sent this consideration to hackers and there was no response actually. But the problem is we don't have concurrency model right now. I proposed later a version which is aborting scans, and that's an interesting thing. Like there are B-tree searches and B-tree scans, and this is two different concepts. First, you're finding a place where you start a scan, and then you're doing a scan by
linked
lists. Going through linked list on a leaf level. And so if the scan part is ever encountering a page that was merged, we have to abort it. But that's not enough. We actually have to abort not like there are two pages participate in the merge. One is a donor and one is a recipient. And we have to abort a scan which steps on any of these pages. And when the page is merged and it's empty, it's trivial to detect that it was merged while the scan was running. So this is not a really very probable station. I reproduced it with injection points and was able to fix it by like getting an error in this case. But the other problem is that you are stepping on a page which received it. And there, I don't see much places where we can mark that we received some tuples on this page during this currently running vacuum cycle, and also detect that the scan was running concurrently with this exact vacuum cycle. That's the problem where we actually stopped, because like there is a problem and we know about it. Probably there are problems that we don't know about. And there is not so much of a feedback from hackers besides
Yeah,
just
let's
Matthias.
keep it on the shelf for a while, because maybe it should just like understanding should level up maybe at some point.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
I was just going to say, I agree. I just wanted to bring it up kind of where we were at, and that even the argument against what we were doing wasn't quite perfect for what we're doing. Like it compared a 50-50 merge with us doing a more efficient merge in my book. But we do have some of these other issues. Also, I'll be honest, I still think doing it during the vacuum creates its own set of problems. I'm kind of leaning in the direction that if we had almost like the equivalent of a PG repack kind of version of doing it, we could avoid it so that we're not deleting the pages. So what we end up with are, in my version of the merge, we end up with extra pages, more like a split does, and whatever. But I agree with you, Nick. Let's push this aside for now. And, slowly, I think we might get to a better feel for the hiccups that we're having. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
cut you off, Andrey.
Well, no, I was thinking about the same idea. Like, let's get back to having merges in an extension. So if anyone wants it, they can get it from a separate file and install it and try it. Maybe not right now, but do we have everything that we need in core for this? Can we ask for some hooks or something like that?
I guess we'll have to look at that. We'll take that offline. I like the idea of it being a separate tool a lot because A, it's manageable, and B, we can look at the table before and after we run and before the vacuum happens, right? And for me, that just makes it a lot easier. Trying to watch it post facto after the vacuum happens is kind of right. It's like you got the normal vacuum operations plus our additional operations. Whereas when we can separate it down to only seeing our operations, we can see our impact on this. So, all right. I'm sorry I hijacked that for way too long. But that was one of our ones. We have the LSN issue we talked about as well. That kind of we still need some. I really think that one is so worthwhile to get done, but I don't recall. Someone pointed out that we don't always get the proper LSN at the right time, or there's some operations that we can miss it based on something. And so we got some feedback from Jim, who's a great guy. He's really tried to help us out on getting this forward, but it's kind of stuck in limbo. So there's that one, and then I'll throw it back.
With drop LSN happens very interesting situation. Like we had a prototype which needed some fixes, and we tried to fix it with the AI, and AI was doing strange things, like changing random stuff, introducing new bugs, and not fixing our old bugs. Like that's okay if it creates new bugs, totally fine. We'll fix them later. But it wasn't fixing old bugs. Maybe so it was actually it was in summer, it was in June, I think. And
Yeah, it's been a while.
3 months is perhaps now AI is better than it was 3 months ago. Or did it progress? Did it learn anything? What do you think?
It might have. I think it's worth learning just for everyone who's maybe late to the drop LSN issue. What we're talking about, if someone drops a table, okay, truncates a table, certain operations that are disastrous, and the DBA wants to maybe get that back, all we're doing is we're writing to the log file the LSN that allows you to recover to the point before that actually happened, so that this way you know what that is and it's just recorded. So then if you're running PG backrest or something else, or you extract the wall files, you can actually do a playback up into that point and then recover the table. Okay. And it's just such an obvious miss that that isn't logged already. Okay. It's such a critical thing that doesn't happen all that often. So turn it on and then you can recover. So just at that. So back to your question. Yeah. Could Claude be doing better right now? I think they're always modifying these things. Nick?
Yeah. I've got distracted. Yeah, it's just some guy invited a bunch of Postgres-related guys for a dinner, and I'm not sure everyone knows this guy. So okay, very strange situation. I'm trying to understand. Am I going tonight or no? Anyway, okay. So yeah, I'm sorry for being distracted. I guess LSN is also on shelf, or no?
Well,
Uh,
I mean,
we are discussing a new approach to all our old ideas.
Okay.
Can we do it as extension? We need to propose a very simple, much more simple patch to the core. Currently, extension can do commit hook. Extension can install small piece of code that is invoked when transaction is commit. But at that point, we don't have LSN. So we can send in a simple patch that adds LSN to hook, and then have an extension which can be installed by the user.
Oh, that's a more generic patch, and that seems simpler. So that
Yes,
seems like a simple low bar. So the answer is,
like every time I think about these things like extensions, it just means that thing we will create, only few people will use. That's it.
You can
It's very
say
demotivating.
few people will use this code. That's already useful code. Someone will use it. More than 0 people will use it.
Well,
yeah.
The example of UUID version 7 is perfect. It went to core. Okay, needed to wait, but it went to core. It's available by default to everyone. People could use UUID version 7 before that, but now it's there. It's super convenient. When you move something to extension, it becomes inconvenient.
Mm-hmm.
While I agree,
super inconvenient.
While I agree, I think it's always good to modify and extend things like the commit to have the LSN in general for the future developers who create extensions while they're testing things they don't need as core. And it may actually make it easier for us to demonstrate the value of this, and that gets it sucked into core. Right.
This reminds me of this over-explain extension. You saw it in Postgres 18, right? Over-explain, like if you have some idea how to extend the explain, use this over-explain extension. And I have idea. For example, it would be great to see which relations are actually locked during planning time and during execution time, additionally, if needed.
At a certain point, over-explain would be awesome if you had full table details and it actually dumped the table and table structure. So when someone posts something like up on DepEz, right, you can actually see not only the query, but the structure of the database behind the query and
Right.
understand that, this
This
is what's
we
kind of
implemented
being
it for our tooling already because GitLab needed it a lot. Lightweight lock manager contention. So we started showing which relations are actually locked, including all indexes. Yeah, and I think it makes sense to support it and explain. But when every time I think I will need to go to that extension and so on, like again, it demotivates me completely. Like who will be using this? It's like doing something and maybe if you succeeded, it's on a shelf somewhere there.
The fact that
Extensions.
do you not feel that the fact that it's there, that if all of a sudden like 10,000 people are like, oh my God, this is great, but we don't have it here and we don't have it there and we don't have it there, that once that starts getting that push through, that it will make its way back into either the ones that ship so that everyone supports it, right? It comes out of the
Well,
box, kept an extension.
we have an example of thing that must be in core, but it's still an extension. It's called PG star statements.
Yeah.
This must be in core, 100%. Why is it in core still?
Because it's not of that quality to be enabled by default. It's too heavyweight for.
Well,
for
I didn't say it should be enabled by default. I said it should not be extension.
What's the difference? Create extension PG stat statements. That's it.
No, shared preload libraries, you need restart.
Yeah.
That's usually a big pain point. If it was already loaded always, but maybe just not enabled somehow.
There is also one
memory.
interesting argument about like not doing an extension. If we are talking about B3 stuff, we are working on something, on a problem that is there for 20 years and that is difficult. It's just a pure complexity of concurrency model, of index concurrency model. It's just heavy for our minds. When we are talking about log LSN, we want to move it to extension because we didn't come up with working tests. It's simple. It must be simple. It's just AI is not on that level to implement it in one session without bugs. And maybe it already is. So we don't need to push on above our heads, beyond our abilities to work on to make it work. We just need to push a little harder.
Right. Okay. Let's do it. Yeah. And okay. How much time do we have? Like, is it okay for us to have
we
half an hour additionally?
Half an hour to take a stub or stop.
And
try it.
And if we don't keep reminding Andrey the time, you know how programmers are, they'll forget how long has passed, and we could probably get about 45 minutes out of them.
Okay, let's make another clear attempt from where we are, and maybe it will work. So let's do it.
Perfect.
100%, yeah.
Okay, so do you see my console?
Yes.
So I have fresh installation with a commit from Robert Haas today, almost right now. And a cursor, but not in this folder. Let's open another cursor. Okay, so I was hacking something here, but let's close all and say, hey, we are working on Postgres code base. We want or I want, or it doesn't matter. We want to implement a function to log LSN of dropped table. To do this, we need to extend the transaction. Commit. Oops. If I'm using some shortcuts and they're different in different places. So this function was called transaction commit. Transaction end.
Were we playing
Oh.
with the get transaction LSN or when we were
Yes.
first doing it? Yeah, and that came up in your transaction
Oh,
search.
transaction commit callback, something like that. Maybe not
There you
remember
go.
how it was.
Exact callback item on the screen. It's right there. Yeah, so you see it highlighted now, right? There's a type def.
We need to extend exact callback. To receive LSN. Then we need to have to register back to print to elog report info LSN table name, drop the table, and LSN of backend means. Okay, so also we need the GUC to protect it, and also we need tests. But let's start with a simple version. Which agent should I use? Auto or
You can do the Claude Sonnet 4.5. That's the better agent that I think of.
okay, let's start.
Go to town. You know it'll be scary when it comes back and says, this again? Didn't we do this once before?
That would be great, actually. If
No, because then it tries to use its own notes. And it's like the more notes it has about something, the more tokens it forgets about the beginning.
it's doing something very, very, very strange. It's inspecting wall logs. Okay, maybe it's fine.
This is a,
Good thing.
okay, maybe it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll scratch our head a little bit, but
Andrey, it was you who sent me this screenshot where it was like, let's do something in home dir, like tilde, right? Like, and then
oh yeah, RM minus RF.
yeah, RM, and yeah, it was deleted, but it was deleted. Home dir was deleted, right?
It's not a big deal. Like,
it's not a big deal. We are on a disposable machine when we work with AI, right? Always. It's not our real personal laptop.
Yes.
Nobody does that.
And the importance of this helping companies come up with their rules on how to use AI and stuff. They can never be pointed at a production database. Like everyone knows the story of the AI assistant says, "Let me start all over again." Drop database and drops a Fortune 500 company's entire production database. So let's. Wow, this thing's crushing it.
Sonnet 4.5 is good. Could be.
I really appreciate the changes over the last year, where now it produces these good to-do lists of what it's going to do, and then it keeps referring back to the to-do list. I have some throwaway Python conversion code, and it was really nice to watch it go back through because of the commands to make sure it lints the solution, right, and runs it through the linter, make sure everything's good.
Have you also noticed in the past, Cloud Code always scheduled, if you send additional messages, like I usually send a few messages and like a queue of them, right? And it always queued them. And first it does like process first request and only takes second one. And Cloud Code in the past, it was immediately interrupting itself and then reacting to your next message always. Then they implemented scheduling, how's it called?
Queuing.
Cursor implemented queuing as well, right? While Cloud Code, they changed model. They now, if you say something, it injects into the process.
Nice.
Not interrupting, it injects. And this is, I think, even better because you can influence. Like it has a plan, it goes into implement this plan, but you see something is off, right? And you want a correction, or you forgot something. And now you can just send it in graceful way, not interrupting. It will inject at a point when it's convenient for the tool to take into account. This I like a lot, actually, this behavior.
If anyone from Cursor's listening, you see that little stop icon, you need a pause icon so we can pause it at the next step, and then we can add details for it to consider for the following steps. And that would be like the perfect GUI for that, because it makes sense, right? Pause what you're doing because I forgot to tell you something now that I see this flying by, right? Pause it, let me add some details, and then tell it to continue playing.
Actually, it's a good point, because if I want to send something and influence it, I need time to type and maybe to collect details. So pausing would be great. Yes.
Guys, if Cursor is listening, it is doing it now with extension.
Okay.
If it is listening, it's not listening attentively enough.
That's funny. That always reminds me of the one where the guy says to his wife, I think the device are always listening to us. And she's like, no. And she laughs, he laughs, Siri laughs, Alexa laughs.
Right. Cursor laughs.
And this is by the way, this drives me crazy. Like, apparently Cursor waits until you engage the AI before it checks for updates. How many times are you in the middle of doing stuff and the bottom left-hand side is, oh yeah, let me go ahead and tell you that there's an update to install. So
they release it daily, I think, like every
oh my
day.
God, multiple times a day. So
there is like no chance majority of that is hand coded. I think it's coded in Cursor itself, right? Dog fooding, right?
So it created something. That's extension. I need to see it not in Cursor, but in a plain old way. The change in Postgres code base seems correct. And the exact places where I would expect, perhaps, besides this. What is it's completely different from our previous attempt.
Did it really create it as an extension this time?
Yes.
Nice. Let's see if it works.
I doubt the extension will compile. Oh, it's called log drop tables. Just make so. Okay, it can be installed. Let's check it. Boom, boom, boom. Create extension log drop tables. Mm,
Create a table, drop a table.
yes.
There's no guck, right? So it's always doing it.
Perhaps so. Maybe I need to enable it somehow. How it's expected to work. Boom, 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 boom.
What's your log level? Because it is reporting at info.
Client messages. All this. And messages to
Info.
create table X. Drop table X.
I didn't see anything.
I think it's doing wrong. The problem is that it is trying to get pending deletes from storage manager, and it's it's
It's just,
it's too late.
Late?
how about we put a message in here so we can see something? Yep. Look at that. It already filled it in for you.
Yeah.
Did you exit?
Uh,
Exit out of Postgres, I meant.
oh,
Yeah,
not
here.
yet. No. I will just do my usual kill 9 stuff.
For everyone else in the world, don't do this at home. Don't do this on a production system. Don't even do it on a test system you like.
What else can you do if it's hanging, right?
Well, if it's hanging, that's different. This is willful battery.
It looks like we have to load this with shared payload libraries.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's probably.
Alter system set that shared payload libraries to GL star. Oh, hello world. It works. Well, at least it's loaded.
Yeah.
Create table X. Drop table X. Where is my LSM?
We gotta right. Oh, you set your client min message. Set client min. Yeah, that was it. There you go. Hello world twice.
No, I don't see.
Well, we
I
know
have.
it's getting into the code. We just don't know where it's stopping, right?
Mhm. So,
That's executing. Oh, we might be catching that return.
um, how to properly, how to automate adding it to shared preload libraries?
Just
Uh,
put it permanently in the config file. Oh, wait, does it recreate the config?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, so
there's a
I will
secondary
just,
file it creates. When you use the alter system command, it creates the extra.
PostgreSQL auto conf.
Yeah, the auto. Just copy that file somewhere else and copy it back in after it creates before it starts.
I decided that I will just stop reading cluster. I will just do a restart instead of deleting it. Um,
All right, so you have a return statement. I'd prefer you brack off that return statement up there with an output that you're exiting early.
I didn't understand.
On line 35, turn that into a block of code before the return and output that you're returning early in case that's what's happening. So just, yeah.
Look, when I issue a drop,
Yeah,
I have this hello world here,
but we
and
don't
it looks
know.
like
Yeah, okay. So if we don't get the next one, we know it might have exited early.
so create table, drop table. We don't have this. We don't have this storage manager pending deletes at this point.
Because it's doing it
Um,
after the commit.
yes, it's like show drop tables. Already drop by the time we Postgres schools please go back. Can we register our table anywhere? Table drop go back anywhere.
After hearing about Microsoft getting scammed with that fake AI system that was really a bunch of people in India typing in stuff, when I see it summarize these sometimes, I'm happy to see that it's fast enough that I'm pretty confident the humans aren't reading what we typed and typing this up.
So it is hook. It's now taking two hooks in different callbacks. Object access hooks. I never heard about it.
Yeah, I'm hoping this isn't a hallucination, but hey,
I think it is. Ah, no. Okay, I see something. Yeah.
It has test. It has test, but it's not. It's not a regression test. Okay, it looks like it's documenting. We can start experimenting. Start. So, do we have this shared reload libraries now?
You got
Yes, we have. A table. Hey,
Why do we need to have it in reload libraries?
I think it's
it's
still an
how
extension, right?
Well, not every extension requires.
this hooks that it's using require it,
Yeah, because it's complexity again.
but it's not working.
Oh, we lost our log message.
Yes.
Well, at least we know what log message we probably need. What's the code doing here?
A lot of code now. Okay. We could do it with LDB. Oh, it learns.
Mm-hmm. Good. Access is good. Oh, look at that. It's actually filling in good. Look. Oh, it just hit tab. Wow.
Well, okay. That was nice.
Yeah. You know, it'd be funny when Cursor puts some of our videos up as links on their channel.
I don't see messages at all. Oh,
Ha. Ooh,
yes, almost there. Hello
look at
World
that.
4.
Hello World 4, then drop table happened. So we got called before the drop table.
Mhm.
So
So
let's see where we add. We need a 5 and a 6. Let's see where we add them.
that was a hook where we remember how the table was named, and it looks like it worked.
We should
Now,
output the schema name, table name stuff as part of our.
wait,
And that's what we're missing is that second half, right?
second of what?
This half, the drop table percent error message, right? ER export. Like we didn't see that message come out, is what I'm saying.
Hmm? Well, 5 was last we saw.
All right, let's take a peek at where 5 is. Okay, so if exact event go to cleanup, we made it past that. So now if we're checking the rels hash, so we don't. So I think we should output the dropped rels hash.
Mhm. It's hash table. We cannot output it because it's just a pointer.
That's what's missing. We didn't get the 5A.
This return works, right?
So the drop rels hash is currently null. So there's the entry.
So it's not initialized for some reason. It's null. So we were here. But it didn't work. So we saw Hello World 3.
And then
Yes, we
4.
saw it. And 4 and all the stuff. But by Hello World 3, we should have this drop trail hash. Someone resetted it.
Oh,
Maybe.
is it in 2 different functions, different times of 2 different callbacks? Or is it still in the same function?
It's backend local.
Okay. All right. Oh, double check where else it might be being initialized, though. Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're already on it.
Mm.
Ah, there's your cleanup. Let's get some logging in the cleanup.
Wait, oh, where it was. Hello World A cleanup. Yeah, it was cleaned up just before used. Okay. So now we have 5A. Where is it?
Oh, good. So it's no longer null.
Yeah, we have now we know the table name, but we don't know
The dropped LSN hash, or
s-
well,
LSN is invalid.
Is it common to use goto at all?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I do it every day.
Okay.
I GoTo was considered harmful, but it was like 50 years ago, so now we don't.
For cleanup, it's fine, right?
It's normal in Postgres code to use
Yeah.
GoTo.
Okay.
It's all over places.
I remember I saw it, but I'm just like we were writing some small extension and boom. Okay.
What is it check is checking? So it's not invalid.
how about we print the LSN on the warning E5 and de-indent the warning? So
Let's just print it even if it's invalid.
I just, oh, you're going to try to use it even if it's invalid.
Yeah, it's null, and it's totally fine. We can print it without core dump. Okay, so LSN is not passed. Okay,
Yep.
let's.
By the way,
Somebody is
interesting
going.
that there are some warnings printed even for create table. Right.
Yeah, probably because we're hooked to stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. So this extension, okay.
Is that your famous tea, Andrey, you're drinking?
Yeah, it's bergamot. It's Earl Grey, I think.
Uh,
My wife told me that I shouldn't mix bergamot with lemon. I'm not. I'm doing it all the time.
I think
It's
it would be
drinking.
great to have some. I would just imagine, and if to generalize the idea, it would be great to have some list of major events and timestamps and LSNs, right? Maybe finding them in logs, it's not the best way. I'm just thinking.
no, I like what you're
Oh,
thinking. You're kind of saying, hey, if there's a hook for some of these things, which events would we want them to be able to turn on so that, they could get additional debugging?
In general, it's a part of DR. And I think backup tools, like one of
Oh,
which,
resend your command. Andrey, your bottom has an up arrow. Yeah.
mhm.
so it's part of DR, and partial deletion, like drop table, it's partial data loss, right? It's not a full disaster when we need to recover from backups, but it's partial, and we do need to recover from backups with point-in-time recovery usually. It's basically one of the ways where one of the areas where backups are needed. And I think WorldG, PGBcrest, others could do more in this area. Maybe this is their job actually to track major events and have a list of timestamps, LSNs, and what event happened. No?
When we started with this idea, we considered actually parsing wall,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Backrest and
Dump
WolG can parse.
cannot parse.
Can, of course they can.
Yeah. Can. It's just
Absolutely.
expensive. Yeah.
WolG is already doing it in Delta backups, so we can when we are archiving wall file, we can make a note. These tables were dropped.
But we don't have timestamps there, right?
We have timestamps. We have commits. In commit
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
timestamp.
Yeah.
We have everything. It's just work to do, and
Yeah. So imagine if WorldG, which now operates like with full backups, delta backups, and also walls. So basically two kinds of objects. It also could have some dictionary of major events. And you could say
yes.
WorldG list events or something. And you see like when, what happened, which LSN, and you could quickly understand what LSN to use in point-in-time recovery. To recover.
And so you can configure which events to look for and say like create tables, drop tables, create schema, alter schema, drop.
Right. For example, I'm just thinking, is it job like for logs, or maybe it's better for this backup tool, for example? Right. In this case, I can expect it could be released much faster, but it should be written in Go, right?
Yes, and our original idea was to create a recovery point, restore point. So we could say if you observe a drop of a table as a next record, then pause
Recover to
recovery.
this point. Right.
No,
Can you click on that? Can you click on the keep all, which will keep all your changes since we've got like 18 files with the changes? Yeah. To the right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just usually click on that. Yeah. Just to clear it. So I know everything's saved to disk. And
it's called restore point. PG create restore point function, right? And this is already not job for PolG. Probably it should be inside Postgres. And okay.
we don't have any debug messages.
Well, I told it to remove.
Tell it to get them back, and that's it. Ah, okay, you removed it.
I think I know what's the problem.
It hallucinated the solution.
No, I was wrong.
Oh, go to cleanup is showing an error. Is the code compiling clean now? Like you passed it by a mile, but cleanup. There you go. It's got a red squiggly on it. Not sure what's going on.
Hmm.
The else is giving us an error too. Like,
Oh,
there you go. It's a syntax error from the if else because you commented out the if and you
Yes.
left the else.
Yes. Yes.
Cannot log dropped tables is invalid. Transaction may not have been written. Isn't this kind of the problem we ran into even when we did it in the other location, that the LSN wasn't quite ready yet, and we had to kind of do something to jigger it to get an LSN to pop out so then we could log it? Like we were getting the
no,
last LSN or something?
no, it was working for us.
But it wasn't, we didn't do it as a plugin now,
Uh,
as an extension, I mean.
yes, I think it's just it implemented this LSL argument wrong. That's not what we should pass here. I do not remember. Let's see how we did it last time. We did it by hand, and I think we managed to get it right at that time.
See, I think that
Uh, how to can I show it a screenshot?
Yeah, just drag and drop it.
Do you think this will work?
hit the @ sign maybe.
Oh, I can give it URL of this patch, and it might learn something from it. It's called Start Vibe Coding.
There you go. You want to stop it?
Full patch
Yeah.
is here. Well, we were considering an idea that AI became better.
I think it just became different.
Yes, it has chosen another way. Maybe it's more Postgres way, but it's not. It's still not that easy. Uh, oh, it's a little bit of time now. Maybe let's step back for this time.
Yeah, we
do
spend too
that
much
later.
time chatting because, just because. Okay,
Because we
so
had to catch up.
right, exactly,
Yeah.
to catch up and so on, because we have multiple things in progress and so on. Okay, see you next time then, right? That's
Yeah.
it. Some small progress. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Until next week, hopefully we pick up and get some better consistency again.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Bye bye.